Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It is the reunion, part 1. And I thought we would start out discussing the dresses. So I have all the dresses. First one we have up is Heather's. If you could see it over my shoulder.
Nope, can't see it.
We
Can't see it.
No, I can't. You can't?
No, can you move the camera? I mean, then we're not going to see you. I'm sorry. Wait, that's good.
Now we can see it. Now we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So,
It's
so it's Heather. Can you see it?
It's drifting. You got to turn a little bit. Yeah. Like when you start talking, I think the camera recenters on you.
Yeah, that's it.
So maybe like push it over more than you think you need to.
Listen, this is our world of technical difficulties.
Well, can you see she's wearing the long red dress?
I can see she's wearing the long red
dress.
Strapless,
okay, split up the knee.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
so Heather, her dress is by Maria Lucia Hoan. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Her shoes, which you cannot see, but they're Christian Louboutin. And her jewelry is Harper Jewelry. Next one is Lisa Barlow. Her dress is the Danella gown by Harvey Leger. She is wearing a bijou ankle strap metallic leather stiletto by Giovito Rossi.
I do like the shoes.
Yeah.
And her dress is much prettier in person than it showed in her photographs. But the problem with her dress is like it's a pretty dress when you're standing up, but when you're sitting down, like the fringes just get all fucked up and it just...
Yes, it's not a sitting dress.
It's not a sitting dress. And you're sitting mostly.
Yes. Next is Bronwyn. Her dress is a Carolina Herrera couture, and it was first worn by Carly Kloss for the 2021 Met Gala, and Bronwyn had it tailored down for her, so she bought it. It is not a loan. And her shoes are Valentino.
Her dress reminds me, I'll have to find a picture. When Terry got married, we wore bridesmaids' dresses that were they were short. It was like a teal color, and they were short, probably the same length as Bronwyn's dress. And then it had a long skirt that wrapped around it. So in the church, it looked like we were wearing long gowns. And then when we got to the reception, we took it off. I have to find a picture. They were really awesome. And nobody had them. Like nobody had them yet.
Cool.
It was really cool. That's what her dress reminded me of.
She really likes that
big shoulder.
She really likes that big shoulder. I think that it's like an insecurity. I think it's like her armor. A lot of times.
Well, she's a very small, petite girl, right?
I think it's like an armor.
I would never choose that because I'm broad up top.
Yeah, but I think it's like her armor.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one is Mary. Hers is Jean-Louis Sabaji. I don't know. I never heard of that. I don't love that one. I really don't.
I'm not a fan. It's very Mary.
It's very matronly.
It is very matronly. Like, with the big jewelry thing on the top, like she likes that look.
That necklace looked horrible when she was sitting down.
Yeah. It looked like it was choking her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yes. Yeah. And her shoes are Christian Louboutin also.
Oh, they all got the red bottoms.
Here we have Brittany Bateman.
Her Macy's prom dress.
It's just so fitting for Brittany.
Yes,
why?
It is.
I don't even want to try to explain it.
It is so perfectly her. Yes.
It is so Brittany.
It is so Brittany.
So her dress is by Halpern, and her shoes are Gianni Bini. Never heard of that. But supposedly her original look was an Oscar de la Renta. Angie had on...
They showed up with the same dress, and Angie won That's what they said in the reunion.
I mean, how can that be?
I thought there was some kind of bullshit too, because come on, all the dresses,
maybe?
Come on, what's the odds that they would show up in the same
dress?
Right.
I think it was just some little bullshit thing for interest.
Especially since they're all wearing designers. Like the designer knows who they're dressing and what they're dressing them for. So why would the designer give both of them the same dress?
No, because they're not all couture. I mean, they're off the rack. The only ones that was couture was Bronwyn's.
Okay.
Well, I actually did not hate Brittany's dress. I'll be quite honest with you. I didn't hate it.
I don't hate it. I just think it's very Brittany.
Yeah, it's definitely Brittany.
Just remind me of like 80s. Like it just, I'm with you, Kelly. It just for some reason fit her, and it just reminded me of Macy's, like prom. I don't know. It just had this thing.
Like a Macy's prom dress.
Just,
Which, listen, I got one of my prom. I went to 4 proms. I got one of my prom dresses at Macy's. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying.
yeah, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Okay, next is Meredith Marks, and she is wearing a Brooks Marks dress.
I think I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is the best Meredith has ever looked at a reunion.
I'm telling you something. Even her skin, her face, her hair, she looked awesome. I was like,
yes, she did.
Like, what are you doing? And her dress, I didn't like it in a photograph, but in person, I thought it was stunning. And I liked her dress the best of all of them. I thought it was
really.
Yep, I thought it was the prettiest one. I really thought it was very pretty.
I really think she looks great. I mean, there's no feathers. There's no, she's just had she's missed the mark a couple of times.
She can thank her son because he was her stylist and her designer.
Well, he did a good job.
And her jewelry is Meredith Marks jewelry.
Good girl.
And I don't know about the shoes. Maybe it does say this. It says dress, shoes, and stylist is Brooks Marks, so they must be his shoes also.
Nice.
Yeah,
he did a good job.
Next, we have a Whitney Rose.
I like hers the best.
I don't love this pose of hers, to be honest with you. Her dress is Monot, Monot. I never heard of it. Her jewelry is Prism, and she also has Rene Cavalli shoes. Never heard of that either. I'm indifferent on her dress. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
I like hers and Angie's the best. I'll say that.
I like Angie's the best.
I did like Angie's.
Next is Angie's, and hers is the Oscar de la Renta dress, Jimmy Choo shoes, and her necklace is Swarovski.
I did like her necklace.
Yeah, I like hers the best. So those are the looks for the reunion. It was fun going through them and seeing, and I like the colors. I did like the color scheme too. Like they all look the purples and the reds and the maroons.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it would go, but it did.
Yeah, it did. It did actually. And there they are all together.
Yeah, they look nice together.
Angie's the only, well, I guess Brittany did a little bit of pink, purple, pink.
Yeah, but they do look good together.
So I just wanted to bring something up. I want to know if anybody noticed this. In the very beginning, the very, very beginning of the show, they're showing some shots of like the set.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody catch the Vita tequila?
No.
Where was it? I didn't see it.
In the very, very, very beginning. I took a picture of it.
Was it just the bottle?
It was a couple of the bottles.
Because she's probably drinking it while she's there.
I don't know.
Other than New Jersey, I think that most of them are allowed to drink.
I don't know what kind of situation you got going on here that you could, like, who's making the dough?
Yeah, product placement.
Here? Like, what? Yeah, I was like,
I told you, she's a queen bee. She is a queen bee.
Very interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't know if you noticed when Angie came out, she said, from bench warming bitch to first chair.
Yeah, I did hear her say that.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Why does she have first chair? I kind of feel like Bronwyn should have first chair. The way the season played out.
Yeah.
Or Mary.
It would have been nice to give it to Mary.
It would have been nice to give Mary.
I don't think Mary
would want the first seat.
Probably, no, and not for these reasons. That's not a first chair seat. Like the people in the first chair are the ones that have the conflict.
Right. So it feels to me like Bronwyn and Lisa had the most conflict.
But it ended with the finale with Angie and Lisa. So that's why they're sitting across from each other.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, so Andy says that he's sitting between Andy says he's sitting between Angie and Lisa, and he's worried about his ears because those are the two with the biggest conflicts.
Yeah.
They're
and
the
they pick safe
loudest.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, they pick the safe words.
And I like how Angie said, I'm going to be good for the economy and keep my clothes and not return them. It's like, is that like a dig at Lisa or is that a dig at Brittany? Because
Brittany.
It's a dig at Brittany.
A dig at Brittany, yeah.
Brittany.
Well, there was the thing with when they were in
Whitney.
Mexico with Whitney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tag. So I was like, oh, look at her doing like the double dig.
Yeah. That's true. It was a double dig.
Okay, so now we did the gowns. I want to do this lipstick review.
Say what now?
Okay.
I think that Bronwyn and Meredith had the best lipstick. Everybody else did just like this boring neutral. So watch it again and let me know your lipstick review.
I agree with you. Bronwyn looks great with a pop of color on her lips, but some people do look better with the nude, like Heather Gay. Like she needs a nude lip. And it's probably because she has such strong features on her face.
Right.
But Bronwyn is so good with like a pop of color. And Lisa looks good with a pop of color on her lips too. Whitney.
Meredith's lipstick was banging.
All right, I'll have to pay attention to
look at
that.
it.
But some people, like Melissa Gorga, like she looks good in a nude lip because she always plays up the eyes. You could only do one. You got to play up the eye or play up the lip. But Bronwyn does both, and she pulls it off.
Sometimes her eye makeup is funky.
It's a lot. It's like a peacock.
Sometimes it's like this weird eyeliner.
Yeah.
It's just odd. Okay, I'm sorry. Look at Wendy's face. Love it.
So Lisa's safe word was Bezos. I still don't know what Bezos is. Does anybody know what it is besides Jeff? And that's with a Z. That's
Right.
not even spelled. What is Bezos? I looked it up. I can't find anything.
Can't? Oh,
Well, you look it up and tell me what you find out.
Look it up right now.
No, I Googled it way when she had the Bezos party. I was like, what the heck is Bezos?
Spanish word that translates to kisses.
Oh, for Valentine's Day. Remember, that was what the original thing was for Valentine's Day.
Besos.
Wasn't it for Valentine's? Yeah, because
Yep.
Bronwyn had on the heart thing.
Okay, yeah. Why did okay. I wasn't looking for a Spanish word, I guess.
Well, there you
All
go.
right. And Angie's is Opa.
Of course. Because if
And-
you didn't know, she's Greek.
Yes, we do know that. Andy asks if we're going to set any intentions for the day. Bronwyn says that she has some apologies and hopefully that she gets some. Whitney says she'd like to get to the root of the problem with Lisa and she would like to get a word in.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So then he starts off with viewer questions. And the first one is to Whitney. How do you explain the Alibaba pictures are the same as your website? And she says that it was a placeholder that was put there until she got to take her own pictures.
It was a stock photo.
It was a stock photo. She doesn't buy from Alibaba. She said that several times.
I don't understand what all this confusion is. And there were people online who were just couldn't get what she was saying. So do you guys get what she was saying? Do you understand what she was saying?
What Whitney was saying?
Yes.
Yes, I understand what she was saying.
Yeah. Because
There's
she's
stock
saying,
photos out on the internet. So
What she
Prism
is
used it
saying-
and Alibaba used it.
right, what Alibaba does is Whitney has two lines. Whitney has a curated line that she has made in India, and it's curated, which means she does some designs and the jewelers in India make it. She sells it. She also has a line that's from a separate manufacturer that is more affordable. So from a supplier. So that supplier has stock photos. So that's the photo that she used as a placeholder. Now, it's very highly likely that that stock photo was also used by Alibaba.
Right.
But they don't sell from the same manufacturer that stock photo came from. It's just like same shit, like Temu, Alibaba. They put up something that looks really good, and what you get is a knockoff shit version of that. But that doesn't mean that because Alibaba stole the
It's
photograph.
a stock photo. It's not stolen. It's a stock photo that you can use.
Right. Like if
Right.
you go on images on the, on
Right.
Google Images, you'll find it.
Right. Right.
Well, or it could be a photo from a manufacturer that Whitney uses, that Alibaba uses, but doesn't sell from that same manufacturer. Like
Right.
you
So
see it
you're
all
going to
the
think you're
time.
ordering from that picture
Right.
and you're going to get something else.
Right, and you're going to get something else. But people seem to be like confused about that. How that all works.
I totally understood what she was saying. Angie is asked if she thinks Heather prioritizes her friendship with Lisa over hers when she told her the comment you said about playing the video games. So when Heather told Lisa what Angie said about her kids, I'm with Electra, she's not sitting around playing video games. Did she think that Heather was prioritizing Lisa's friendship over hers? And her response was, she said, Heather twisted my words. And yeah, I did question the friendship. She did. But
She should.
Yeah, she should. We all agreed about this, that we believe that Heather is happy that Lisa is kind of accepting her now because Heather is the pick-me girl.
For sure.
So that's kind of, she's leaning into that.
I just want to go back to one thing real quick with the Alibaba.
We're going back to Alibaba?
I'm going back to Alibaba for a second.
Okay.
Now, she said that stock photo was only up on her website for 48 hours.
Yes.
But it's interesting that somebody was so either lucky or invested in her jewelry line to catch it in that 48-hour window, put it in a Google image search, see that it came from it's just a little, I don't know,
Yeah.
a little sus.
Coincidental.
It's a little sus to me.
Well, that's kind of how she feels about the whole thing, which is why she was investigating it.
Right.
Right?
And not only that, I'm not going to let the Alibaba.
Oh, wait, we're going back?
We're going
back
back to the
back to
Alibaba.
Alibaba?
Hey, man.
Listen,
You sound like me talking about Teresa, for crying out loud.
yeah. Now, that made me forget what I was going to say because it was good. Oh, listen. So if Lisa has this big cybersecurity team, like, you could have figured that out.
She was waiting for Whitney to give her the IP addresses.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Oh, so what kind of security force, cybersecurity force, are you paying money to that they can't get an IP address off a public thing?
Well, they have to get
Whitney
the
would have
IP
to-
address from whoever the person was who was sending things to Whitney. So they got to get Whitney's,
Oh, okay.
right? They have to look at Whitney's hardware.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But Lisa also said, I should have sent you the bill for my security.
Bill for what? You said they didn't do
Exactly.
anything because she didn't give you the IP.
Exactly.
I'm going to let it go now. I'm going to let it go.
No, you're not. I feel as though we're going to hear about it again.
I feel like there's more brewing.
I do. I really do.
I sense the wheels are still spinning.
All right.
The next question is, Angie and Lisa, where do you stand today? So Andy says to Angie, you posted on Twitter that Lisa has a mystery man in Park City who pays for her lip filler. Angie said, I fired back because Meredith started posting that I was a backup dancer for Jen Shah. I don't understand. Why is she firing back at Lisa when
At Meredith.
Meredith. Yeah, but it was between her and it doesn't make sense, right?
That did not make sense at all.
I
And
don't
then
know why she was so pissed off about being a backup dancer. She's
Well,
like, I am not a.
I totally
know.
agree with you. Like, who gives a shit? The
Gives a
video's
shit.
probably 5 years old. Who
Right on a
cares?
stupid fucking 2-second video.
that video was so stupid.
It was ridiculous.
And then Meredith said, they asked me what my reaction was to the scroll you gave me. And that's when I said that because you and Monica made a video with Jen Shah, the WAP video, and you were the backup dancers. So that's why Meredith threw that because of the scroll. So somebody asked her, like, what were your thoughts on the scroll? And she's like, well, it's coming from a backup dancer, which again was so stupid.
So stupid. But that was actually kind of funny that you called her a backup. Yes.
It was even funnier that she was so upset about it.
I was so offended. You were in the background and you were dancing.
Dancing, right. Right. And
Some could say that's a background dancer.
I'm nobody's backup dancer, she said. And then Angie said on Twitter, Lisa's G-Wagon was repossessed. I'm like, what are you girls doing?
Yeah,
Well,
it's a little much.
I think Angie, I'm telling you, she just gets hot and then she just loses her fucking mind and she just has diarrhea of the mouth and later on she's like, oh.
Out of Lisa, Meredith, and Angie, I choose Angie.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me
So,
too.
whatever she's doing it well.
Yes, I 100% agree. And Andy asks Bronwyn, I kind of thought you were going to wear the $4 million necklace to the reunion. This whole interaction was a little strange because Bronwyn said, I was going to wear it, right? They made me a smaller version of the necklace. And then Lisa says, well, I'm friends with Emma. And she said that you didn't buy the hoop earrings or the necklace or anything. She said nothing was purchased.
So I think this is what happened. This is my take on it. I think that Bronwyn did a flex with the big jewelry at the anniversary thing. That's good for the jeweler. It was good for the show. I don't think she had any intention of ever buying that necklace. It was just a flex.
Agreed.
I think that she probably did want to get something for her anniversary. And I think that she did decide to get some hoop earrings and a smaller necklace made. When you have that kind of money, you're not getting something out of the fucking case. A lot of times you're having it made. So she said that girl said from the jewelry place she was waiting on a wire transfer. So I think that Bronwyn was going to use that jeweler and was going to have hoop earrings and a necklace made. And then after the reunion, she's like, fuck that. No, the wire transfer, you're not getting the wire transfer. Like, you can keep waiting on that. So,
But
maybe,
Lisa said at the reunion she was waiting on a wire transfer. So it couldn't have been after the reunion, right?
No.
What I'm saying is, yeah, the girl who texted her said, oh, they haven't bought anything. I'm supposed to be waiting for this wire transfer. Well, you know what? People like that buy shit when they want to buy it. Like, you'll get your fucking wire transfer whenever the fuck I decide I'm going to buy it. And I think then after that, she was like, well, I'm certainly not going to, that's not even
Because she said on Watch What Happens Live, she has not purchased anything.
Right. She was
Right.
after that, that's what I'm saying.
Now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but before that, so this is where it gets so then Bronwyn says, well, then I'll have to take that up with her. It's very odd that a jeweler would say what I did or did not purchase. And then Whitney says to Lisa, why did you ask? And Lisa says, oh, I didn't ask. She said nothing was purchased. Andy said, let's set the record straight. You bought a smaller necklace, and Bronwyn said yes.
Yeah,
a
so
smaller
maybe
carat necklace.
So maybe, but I'm saying what she was planning on purchasing it. If you got money like that, what's the difference between if you're going to send out a wire transfer to do it when you want to do it? I think it's just like semantics as to whether she actually had
because then Angie's like, why would the owner call you, Lisa, and say that Bronwyn didn't buy jewelry? Lisa says she's not the owner. Bronwyn says, no, she works there. So she's just a salesperson. This is the person.
So who's listening to her?
She's just a salesperson, right? Angie says, so still, why would she reach out to you? Lisa said she just texted me out of the blue.
Bullshit.
Right?
Lisa was digging.
Yeah. And if she's a salesperson, how does she know what Bronwyn's buying?
Well, but then Lisa's saying that I introduced you to this jeweler, so I know this salesperson. That's how Lisa's saying that she introduced Bronwyn to the jeweler.
Okay.
Bronwyn, she didn't buy. Whitney says, can you show us the text? And then she hands the text to Andy. She hands her phone. Lisa hands her phone to Andy.
Yeah.
And Andy looks at it and he says, it's not good. Right? So there was a text exchange between this salesperson and Lisa.
Yeah.
And that's when she said, you told them that you were sending us a wire for the hoops and they didn't receive it and you never returned the hoops. Bronwyn says, why would she send you a text if you're not friends with her? And Lisa says, I am friends with her. I just haven't talked to her in a while. Andy says the texts aren't great. She feels burned by you. Bronwyn says she feels burned by me. And he says, yeah. And then Bronwyn says, well, why would she feel the need to bring Lisa into this? I will take it up with her. So what I think happened is because she was just a salesperson and she does know Lisa, and if they don't get the wire transfer, that means she doesn't get her commission.
Oh, yeah.
So she's putting it out there thinking that, maybe Lisa will say something
It'll
to her.
prompt Bronwyn to make the payment.
Right. Not expecting it to be on the reunion, right? Would you expect that? I mean,
but listen,
with these
Lisa,
women, I don't think you say anything unless you're ready for the world to hear it.
But this is the thing. This is how low Lisa will go. She threw that girl right under the fucking wheels of the bus.
Handing her phone over.
Just so she could make a dig at Bronwyn.
yeah.
That was the only reason she did it. And she didn't care that this chick was going to lose her job, that she was outing her, that he didn't give
Exploiting
a shit
the company.
about none of it.
Yeah.
But I just think the whole Bronwyn buying, not buying the jewelry is, to me, it's very plausible. Like the way I explained it to me makes total sense. It's so I don't
like
see
maybe
the
she
big
did.
deal about it.
She did put an order in for a smaller version of that necklace.
Or maybe she was
Meanwhile, they
planning
came
on
to
it.
reunion, and now Lisa's pulling out all these text messages. So Bronwyn's like, "Fuck it, I'm not buying it.
Buying it. Yeah,
Cancel my order. The wire will not be made."
that's how I took it.
I mean, I guess it's possible. But did she even say that, oh, I'll take pictures of it when I get home?
She did say that. She did say that.
How's she taking pictures of it when she gets home?
Maybe she meant when she gets it.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. Then next
I don't think we're cracking this case wide open.
No, we're not. We're not.
Not
Maybe
like I cracked the Alibaba.
There you go.
Right.
Then we see a montage of Bronwyn's fashion, and Andy wants to talk to her about Bronwyn and Lisa's friendship. They have not spoken for a month at this point, which, I mean, they were supposedly good friends. But Bronwyn admits that after watching it back and watching Lisa's interactions with the other girls, that she thinks that maybe that Lisa didn't think of her as a good a friend as she thought of Lisa.
Yeah.
And
like she's finally at the realization that
Lisa's not
you
her
just
friend.
weren't close friends.
Right.
I think, too, that Bronwyn, they knew each other socially and they were like friends. And I think Bronwyn thought when she went on the show that because they knew each other previously, that she was just going to like become better friends. I think her expectation was that her and Lisa were going to develop a further friendship.
Yeah. And then that's why she wouldn't get close with Whitney, even though Whitney was being very welcoming to her, because she figured, well, if Lisa and Whitney don't get along, I'm not going to be able to have that friendship with Lisa that I want.
Right.
Right.
Now,
if I'm close with Whitney.
It's interesting because, like on Real Housewives of New York, when Jenna Lyons got that Bentley, we were like, oh, she ain't keeping that. Like, that's just like a TV flex. So it's the same thing with the big necklace with Bronwyn. Like, nobody made this big deal, about Jenna. She said, oh, look, I bought this car. And then all of a sudden she returns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they loaned it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's another thing, too, about Lisa and Bronwyn. When it comes to the whole Gwen situation, so there was a scene where John and Lisa and Bronwyn were talking about what happened when John met his birth parents.
Right, I remember that. Yes.
And like that's a conversation I don't feel like you have with someone who you're not friends with.
Friends with, yeah.
Right?
Right.
And the fact that she even showed the picture of Gwen's father to Lisa at the airport, which we didn't see happen.
Right.
Again, when she has admitted she hadn't even shown that picture to Todd. That's not something you do to somebody that you're not close friends with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it seems to me kind of like what we were talking about with Dorit and Kyle, how Dorit saw the friendship one way.
Yeah.
And Kyle saw it a different way. I feel like Bronwyn really, when she watched it back, she's like, oh no, like Lisa's not my friend.
Right. But it is very clear that Bronwyn brought up the grandparents knowingly with Lisa on camera. I did take that away from this reunion.
Well, we know. Listen, she had a conversation with her daughter because the whole thing happened off camera. Initially, it happened off camera.
Right, but she brought it on camera. After talking to Gwen, I get it.
Yeah.
But she did bring it on.
She did bring it on, yeah.
I'm not, because I have a lot to say about what happened on the after show and when they get to that. Okay. I'm not excusing Lisa's part in it. I'm just saying, ultimately, it's not like Lisa brought this on without Bronwyn knowing. It wasn't. Right. It wasn't like that, which we've seen happen on Housewives, and people are like, which is what's going on Southern Hospitality right now. So we got to talk about that.
All right. So Whitney says to Bronwyn that she feels like she's watching it back, that Bronwyn doesn't claim Whitney as her friend. And that's what we just said. She didn't want to claim her as her friend because she thought that she would be disloyal to Lisa.
It would interfere, yeah.
Yeah. Heather still maintains that when Bronwyn invited her over, that she was there to sing for her supper, which she keeps saying.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know. I mean, it was a couple's trip, and Heather isn't a couple, but I don't think that she was. I think that she really intended to invite her, and she just wanted to be in a good place with her, given the fact that Todd is going to be meeting this group and hanging out with them, and she doesn't want to have drama.
I totally agree. I think she just invited her over to like squash whatever was going on with them.
Right. Yeah, and Heather came with came with a chip on her shoulder. So
she
100%.
Yeah, she absolutely did. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But Heather didn't. She still doesn't accept that. Which, whatever.
Well, she's not going to ever be okay with Bronwyn if Lisa's not okay with Bronwyn. Heather will make shit up to make sure she's not okay with Bronwyn if Lisa's not okay with Bronwyn. Heather's going to do whatever she has to do to stay in the cool girl clique, right? In the mean girl clique right now. It's like Regina George.
So the next is a viewer from Buffalo says that Heather's weight loss is the reason for her edge this season. Can you see how you're giving mean girl energy? That was a harsh question.
It's like, I mean, that wasn't nice.
No, it wasn't nice. So Heather said,
for her, she wants to, whatever. However she's doing it, she's doing it. She looks great. So good for her.
I think she handled the question great, to be quite honest with you. I think it was a shady question. I know it was supposedly it was a viewer question, but they didn't have to pick that question.
No, they did not have to pick that question.
Heather said season 1 Heather had way more confidence than this Heather. And Mary jumps in to her defense. Mary says Heather is different. She likes herself more. She was dark and not happy when I first met her. Heather says she's happy and she's proud of herself, and she doesn't want that to make her mean. Mary said, we're proud of you. And I love that, to be quite honest with you. I love that Mary jumped in and stuck up for her. And I like that Heather said, listen, why do we have to go to the body image issues? Like, why?
Right.
Heather's beautiful now. She was beautiful before. Stop. The next is a viewer from Texas says, Lisa, you discovered that you know Gwen's grandparents. She asked Bronwyn if she wanted that on the show, and Bronwyn said no. Bronwyn said she'd never shown a picture of Gwen's dad to anyone but Gwen, and she shared it with Lisa, and she hadn't even shared it with Todd yet at that point. So the only one that had seen it was her daughter Gwen. Bronwyn felt like she was confiding, when she told Lisa, and she was letting her in a big way. Then on the after show, when she spoke to Gwen's grandparents, they said that they were told that Bronwyn had a miscarriage. Now,
that's awful.
It's horrible.
Why would she say that?
I think that the grandparents came up with that to get themselves out of the hot water. I think that was very convenient for the grandparents to come up with that so that that's what they could tell everybody if anybody asked or if anybody knew that she was. And listen, these people.
I was watching the same thing. Lori's hair just did a whole
Yeah,
thing.
just did a whole thing. These people.
You might see it, you might not. We don't know.
You're not going to see it. These people, I feel like, are very like higher echelon Mormons up there. I feel like that's who they are. There's no way in hell that they didn't know that they had a grandchild.
This is what I was going to say. Even if they were told a lie that she had a miscarriage, this beautiful young girl is 18 years old. There's no fucking way in hell you don't know that she's alive now. You lost your son and you still don't try to find her? It's disgusting. It's deplorable. I don't care how high up on any fucking chain you are. You're wrong. Lisa can be friends with these people, but don't you dare go on national television and defend them, because that's fucked up.
Don't spread their lies on national television.
It's 18 years. They know this girl is alive. Stop it.
Right. And I think Bronwyn said that she spoke to the widow of the Gwen's father.
Gwen's father's
the
wife.
Widow. So these people have known.
Absolutely.
So don't even. It was just so. It's just a.
And then Lisa's crying, saying she feels bad for them. Why do you feel bad for them? They have a grandchild they don't acknowledge.
Right.
Don't feel bad for them.
No.
Right.
I mean, listen, I know they lost their son. That's awful. But stop defending them for something that they chose to do and continue to choose to do.
Right. And I think that's where Bronwyn and Todd were with that, is that you choosing, and I don't care whether Bronwyn did or didn't say to Lisa, hey, look, I asked the producers to take that out. That's just not something that you just fling out there, because quite frankly, it doesn't make any sense, because it makes the grandparents look like assholes. Like, you say you're sitting there crying, oh, you feel so bad for them. But then you put something out there like that makes no fucking sense. They were told she had a Come on.
But even at that point, even if she didn't know that Bronwyn asked them to take it out, she knew the conversation that she had with Bronwyn, and Bronwyn said that after Gwen was born, Bronwyn's father called and left a message. So you knew that.
Right.
And Bronwyn kept saying, your experience with them is far different from my experience with them.
Right.
You know what really happened, what Bronwyn is telling you happened, and then yet you're repeating something on TV that is a lie, and you know it's a lie. Whether you know it was taken out or not. It makes no sense. But that's Lisa. That Lisa just,
it's infuriating. Like, she's going to continue. Like Bronwyn said, like, she's not getting it. Like, she looks at Whitney like she's not getting it. She can't, like, how do you not see that this is wrong? Just like I said, they're clearly close, friends. I don't know what they are to you, but there's something. Fine, but just stop defending them.
Well, it's the same thing as the jeweler. She'll gladly throw the grandparents, as much as she cries and carries on. She threw those grandparents under the bus to make Bronwyn look bad by saying that about the miscarriage.
You're right.
Because it makes no sense.
Right.
You're making them look even worse than they are, because no one in the world would just, okay, so no one's going to believe that. Like, that may have been the grandparents, that might have been the lie that you told to yourself eons ago. But no, it just makes no sense. But I'm just saying that that's Lisa. In order to keep her narcissist view of her reality, she will throw anybody under the bus.
And then she starts crying.
Yeah, just crazy.
And Meredith's like, well, I think she's crying because she knows she's wrong. That's not why she was crying. She was crying because she knows she looks like an asshole now.
Mm-hmm.
She still doesn't think she's wrong.
No,
she doesn't think she's wrong.
Delusional.
No, she doesn't think she's
And I
wrong.
truly believe Meredith thought that was why Lisa was crying. But that's not why Lisa was crying.
No, it was crazy.
So we totally skipped over this, but thank God Mary said in the beginning of the reunion, Robert Jr. was doing well.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. But I only say that because my next note is that Mary looks like she's going to fall asleep again. Remember when she fell asleep at the reunion? She totally looked like she was going to pass out. I would have been the same way.
Now, the only thing was that, Lisa did not say that Bronwyn faked a miscarriage.
No, she didn't.
But I think, like I said, I think that the point that Bronwyn and Todd were trying to make, I think it was just the people are getting confused of the verbiage. I think when Todd said that, your wife said that Bronwyn faked a miscarriage, he wasn't saying that she said that literally. He was just saying that she put it out there.
Right. She
that
repeated it.
Right. Lisa put it out there. Because if the grandparents said that, then they're the ones who were like saying that Bronwyn, like they're the ones saying that it was something that was fake. So you know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is when Todd said a miscarriage, I don't think he was trying to say that those were the exact words that Lisa used, but the connotation of putting that fake miscarriage rumor that the grandparents put out there, it's a fake miscarriage rumor. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now they bring the husbands out, and I'm glad
Yes.
Todd has a chance to
Yes.
defend himself because I do feel like Todd's getting a bad rap on social media.
I don't mind him.
Sure. I like him. And I feel like he really took up for Bronwyn here.
Wait a second. Before we get there, before the husbands come out, Andy asks if there is a path forward for Bronwyn and Lisa. And Bronwyn
I hate
says,
when he asks these questions. Like, what
I
are they
know.
supposed to say? Yes, absolutely. We're going to go to dinner as soon as this is over. Like, what are they going to
Bronwyn says, I still hear you saying there's hurt on both sides. I don't think I can have a relationship if there's nothing you can see from my vantage point. Lisa says, I'm sorry, and I feel bad for them too. It's a horrible situation. So she was kind of saying, like, you just need to say that you've got my back. Like, you understand. You don't have to say you feel bad for them too.
Right.
Like, just stop saying you feel bad for them too.
Exactly.
That's all you have to do.
That's all you got to do.
And she couldn't get it. She just couldn't. She just couldn't do it. Right.
I mean, she's
Right.
a true narcissist.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Now,
like,
how about when she was, they showed her in the back with John, Lisa. And she's sitting there telling John, I've been such a good friend of Bronwyn all season, and like acting all dumbfounded. She's truly delusional.
she is. She never sees herself doing anything wrong.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. And then we come back after the break and the husbands are there.
Yeah.
Andy does ask Todd how he feels about landing out from his business trips with Bronwyn meeting him in costumes. He said it's fun. I think he does enjoy it. I think he gets a kick out of it. Then Mary says that Robert Sr. doesn't want to be a part of this because Andy asked. And
That was great. She's like, he doesn't want to be here.
yeah. Good for him.
Smart man. Smart man.
Yeah. Very smart.
So then one of the viewers' questions is to Bronwyn, Todd is obviously blunt. Are you concerned with him being on the show? Bronwyn and Todd both admit that after watching the show back, that they see themselves differently, which I think that they do,
They do too.
and they're making changes and they're stronger now than ever before. And Bronwyn says she often likes to say something about herself before somebody else says it, and it comes across as though she's making a joke about Todd.
I do that.
Do you?
I swear I do that. I do that.
Like you'll make a joke about yourself.
Well, Bronwyn has, when I saw that whole, I saw the podcast, I watched it on YouTube of the Vial Files, and she was explaining that about herself and her personality, it's like a nervous thing that she does. She's anxiety, so she'll just throw something out there before somebody else can say it. It's like self-depreciating, like she'll just
Deprecating, yep.
deprecating.
Yeah.
She'll just do it before someone else has a chance to do it.
And Todd said that when she started the show, that her daughter Gwendolyn was off limits and, bringing up on camera, like he didn't, but they agreed when she did allow it to be brought up after she had a conversation. But,
Yeah.
He's very protective of her. And I understand that,
Yeah, he said he's been in her life since she was 9 years old.
Right.
Yeah, 8 years old, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about the Karastasis commercial that Lisa did?
Nice placement there too.
I think that was the cheapest low budget commercial I've ever seen.
100%.
I think that Lisa may have done that commercial herself.
In her bathroom.
So wait, so you guys watched it on Bravo?
Yeah. Oh, you watched it on
watched
Peacock.
It on Peacock, so much better on Peacock.
Well, yeah, I gotta watch that.
You really
Next
do.
week I'm
There's
gonna do
like an
that.
extra 10 minutes or something from Peacock, and you really need to watch that on Peacock.
Yeah,
So-
next week I'm gonna watch it.
There
Peacock.
are commercials on Peacock, but I guess there wasn't a Karastasis commercial on Peacock. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
It was a bad. Maybe she's just not a good actor.
Well, she's not. I feel like Lori would have very strong opinions about this commercial. You're gonna have to look it up.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah,
You're gonna have
definitely
very strong opinions about this.
All right. I'm sure
Yeah.
I will. Because I'm not
it
a
was
Lisa
awful.
fan.
Wendy's right. It was awful.
It really was.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
Listen, I'm not a fan of her, so I don't feel like she could do anything that I would like.
Sounds like me talking about somebody else.
Yeah.
That's all I have for the notes on this. Do you guys have anything else? I mean, you saw the I have watched What Happens Live and Bronwyn was on.
Well, all I have from the reunion is John gets right into it with Todd, telling him to watch his tone. And
Yeah.
Todd's tone was perfectly fine.
Yes,
He
it
was
was.
not being authoritative. He wasn't being aggressive. He wasn't being any of those things. Your wife was way out of line for saying anything about a miscarriage. They've had 18 years to acknowledge this young lady and they haven't done it. Like, shut the fuck up, John. He's starting to really annoy me now.
Learn how to
I feel like I
park.
cursed a lot on this episode. Sorry. I had 2
Learn
glasses
how
of
to
wine.
park. Learn how to
Learn
park.
how to park.
Learn how to park
And step the fuck back.
and sit down, John.
Sit down.
And Angie did bring that up when John was there,
Yeah.
too. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so we shall see about the next one. But I feel like Bronwyn got a lot of unnecessary heat in regards to the jewelry.
Yeah.
That, to me, it's totally explainable and plausible, and it's just, Lisa's just low budget.
Yeah.
She's low
Yeah.
budget. She's low budget to take that dig, to throw that chick under the bus.
Yeah.
She's just,
Yeah. What she did with the jeweler was,
she's low budget.
yeah.
Like, you can
not
show
good.
all the pictures you want about your cars in your garage, and you can wear all the designer shit that you want.
Right.
You're low budget.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Laura,
Not
any other words
fan.
about Alibaba before we go?
No, I'm good. Where'd Wendy go?
No.
There you
Well,
go.
there you are. Okay.
You're back.
Technical difficulties, people.
Low power mode. Me too.
Okay.
Me too.
All
So
right.
let's just wrap it up. I'm not going to
Wrap it
talk
up.
about anything else. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.